Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and this will be the second portion of um, today's sharings of conflicts, confirmations, contrasts, competition, just the whole nine of it. And so let's just get into it, beloveds. This, like I said, is the second portion of this. And I got cold and I put some more makeup on, put some more lip gloss on. So yeah, I changed a little bit, changed it up a little bit for this part. So here we go, beloveds. Um, in the last portion where I gave the download and the confirmations of the cards, I shared one of the cards. That card was the vision card, which is the hangman card in um, the traditional tarot. And I've been watching a lot of um, Taurus tarot because I'm a Taurus. So I've been watching a lot of Taurus tarot. And the hanged man has been coming up a lot for Taurus in the month of October. And I'm not surprised that she came up in this particular reading. This is again the second portion, so I won't go over this. If you want to see what this card had to say, then you have to watch the first one. Okay. Let's move forward with the second card from this reading. And beloveds, like I said, as I was getting my decks ready to do this, two cards from the Medicine Woman Tarot popped out, and I was compelled to use them, not put them back in the deck, but this is what you need. So I listened to Spirit, and this is the second card, and this is the second portion of this part of the revelations and the downloads and the confirmations by the cards. So here we go. Let's just get into it. This is the Sun card in the traditional deck. Sorry about the lighting, beloveds. In the Medicine Woman deck, it's called Rebirth. Traditional deck, it is called the Sun card. Medicine Woman deck, it is called Rebirth. And let's see what Rebirth has to say. And in this deck, it is number 19, which is a 10, beloveds, which is a 1, which is new beginnings. And it is what it is. And let's just get there and see. And these were two major arcana cards, beloveds. This was two. 12 and 19 were the numbers. 12 was the color of, was the number of the vision card, which was about surrender, which was the hanged man in the traditional tarot. And now we're going to 19th, which is rebirth, which is on page 120, which is again a 12, which is again a 3. And this is Jesus the Avatar. So it's that 1 plus 1 equals 2, and that 1 plus 2 equals 3. That is the Holy Trinity. That is 1 plus 1 equals 1. Okay, let's get to it. 120. Okay, here we go. Rebirth. Early stage of adeptship. Number 19. Traditional name in the regular deck. Sun. Medicine Woman energy for this card. Rebirth of the living spirit. I don't make this up. I don't make it up. I just do what I'm told. Do what I'm told. Rebirth of the living spirit, beloveds. Affirmation. I am reborn. a child of light, aglow with inner vitality. Sun Father, Earth Mother, I am yours in all things, great and small. I see the beauty of your divine expression. The card speaks. I am the sun. I am the turning toward life that has been made by your individual consciousness. You have shed the old habits of death and destruction through your simple turning of the mind toward me. I am the power of regeneration. I am the turning point. You have freed yourself from the limitations of circumstances. Goosebumps, shivers, butterflies. Okay. Sorry, beloveds. Let me let me ground, cause okay, okay. I am the turning point. You have freed yourself from the limitation of circumstances. Now, in touch with Creator, you express the one true self in new creative energy. You may find yourself suddenly writing poetry, painting, acting, singing, dancing, or perhaps choosing to bring another being into life. You may begin to feel as though you are a child yourself. You have been born again, and it is only through this experience of me that you enter the eternal land of promise. I am the doorway, the bright light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my God, be like a child. Child shall lead them. I am the doorway. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 7, 7. I am the doorway, the bright light at the end of the tunnel. You may enter and pass through me if your heart is filled with wonder, empty of doubts and fears. Like Jesus Christ, the Son on earth, you have found the kingdom of God to be within you. This divine Father light now joins with the mother love of your earthly being, creating a heavenly union. The Heroes Gamos, baby. That sacred union. Married myself and now I'm out here banging. Shut the hell up. Let your heart be light and gay. Let your heart be light and gay. Now that your whole and holy parents have been found, you are the new son, the Christ consciousness reborn on earth this day. Self-questioning, am I more afraid of the dark or of the light? Exercise, soak up the sun, contemplate its luminosity. Think of it as a being. What does it do for this planet? What would life be without it? Those of us in the northern hemisphere, we understand this because we are very agricultural because our seasons change and because the time of light, daylight that we experience decreases. So this is very much a part of the contrast in our knowing, so to speak. It's part of my own circadian rhythms and everything. It's very deep, beloveds. Simply dwell on the face of Jesus Christ or any other master of light if you wish to meditate. Visualization, imagine that you are walking through a tunnel of darkness. Yea, though I walk through the valley. Heading toward a doorway of light at the end. Do not stop your concentration until you reach the light. Do not stop in that tunnel. Keep going until you find the hope, until you see the end, until you see the light. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do not focus on what you hear around you. Do not focus on what pops up in front of you. Do not focus on any of that. Observe from a place of detachment within you. Just, okay, okay, okay. And some of it will trigger you. Allow it, because that is what you need to feel to heal. So allow the triggering, allow the breakdowns, allow the breakthroughs, allow the cracking up, allow the bull in the bull shop, the bull in the china shop. It can be built up again. It can be built up again. All those fancy pieces of china that you put in your shop, what you fashioned on the spinning wheels, through the clay, through the earth, through the alchemy. You go through there and you destroy it, because it's no longer relevant in this time. It's no longer offering a frequency that nurtures you. Now you have to start all over. You have to go back to that potter's wheel. You have to get your ingredients all over again. And now you have to start recreating for you in this now moment, who you are now, not who you have been, who you are now, right now, with the awareness that you have of yourself, that you have of your environment, outside, inside, above, below, within, without, around, all of it. Identify her or him or them or we or I in this now moment. Address them all, the individual and the collective that make up you. Okay, I'm sorry. 12:48. Imagine that you are walking through a tunnel of darkness, heading toward a doorway of light at the end. Do not stop your concentration until you reach the light. Archaeological sign, the sun. Foods and colors. Surround yourself with golden oranges and yellows. Eat fresh fruit picked at their peak. Jesus' avatar. Over the 2,000 years since this particular Son of God was asked to walk the earth as human, and we all know that Jesus came from Horus. If you don't, go do your due diligence and look up Isis, Osiris, and Horus, who were part of the Trinity that was handed down to that age so they could understand the concept. That morphed into or became or birthed the Jesus story. Okay? And I want you to understand that every so often messengers, many of them, not just one, are placed on this plane or awakened on this plane as they are intended to. And they give, they give, they give, they give. And in the giving, they know they are not going to be appreciated. Not by many, by a few, but not by many. And so it is those few who offer that unconditional love and loyalty. And it is those ones that must be nourished above all else, because they are the seed throwers. They are the way showers. They are the ones to lift you up. They are the ones who play mother. And they are male and female. They call themselves indigo, starseeds, stars, politicians, powers and principalities. They are everywhere. But they are very rare beings. And they are fighting for you. They are fighting and walking through a darkness that you are just now becoming aware of. Keep allowing yourself to see. Keep giving yourself permission to bear witness to the truth, to be part of the divine truth. Okay. One of the 2,000 years since this particular sun, and that's just reverberating in my head. 2,000. That's okay. We're not gonna go there with that number, but okay. This particular Son of God was asked to walk the earth as human. The popular stories of his life became very narrow. Did you hear that? The truth about who he really was became very narrow and very rigid because he was something other. He was different. He was a rebel. He was a rebel of God. Okay? He's a divine freaking rebel. Okay? You talking about a bad boy, the original. Whew, baby. That's a thug. Okay? One of these legends may have turned you away from the religious path of your childhood, yet here you can meet again on the inward journey. Whether or not you were raised Christian, you have no doubt felt the influence of Christianity in your world. Whether you judge the influence of established Christianity to be positive or negative, it is not the issue being addressed here. Instead, we are looking at how an enlightened being, an avatar or son or daughter of God, might live within the realm of the Mother Earth. Looking at the life of Jesus, you can observe one of the ways a divine soul offers himself as an example of living according to the sacred way that unfolds within him. The avatar may teach or preach, but always he or she lives the way to God. His or her mind rests in the higher kingdoms, not in the worries and fears of the world. The world is dealt with. Day-to-day issues are felt, but the avatar is guided by something more important to her. To live as a son or daughter of God, you must raise your thoughts to the level of highest possibility. This might be called hope. You might transcend doubts by continued action that you judge moment by moment to be in the greater good, seeking no particular reward for your personal being other than that of truly serving the divine. This has been called faith. Often, faith is misunderstood as some kind of trust that things will turn out as you want them. At this level of consciousness, however, your wants have merged with a higher order. And that's when you know you have to step back and allow the unfolding. Because Spirit is working with not just you, but with your collective. And when you know that is working with the collective as a group. You understand the contrast. You understand what we see as competition. You understand many of the things, the essences that are present because it is wisdom, spiritual wisdom, divine wisdom of the highest order. And the more sensitive you are, the more you surrender, the more you give in, And for some of us, like me, that includes screaming and fighting and crying and whining and cussing people out and cussing yourself out. Who is it? I'll be right back, beloveds. Let me just pause this. Okay, sorry about that. Had a package being delivered. Some of my First Fitness products that I've been using to lose weight, rejuvenate, to to heal. Period. So that's what's going on. That's what that was. Getting back to it. Often faith is misunderstood as some kind of trust that things will turn out as you want them. At this level of consciousness, however, your wants have merged with a higher order. You are not so interested in what you get out of something, but rather that the greatest good is happening for all. Aho, ashe, ashe, ashe. Amen. You are not trusting that God will take care of you, but that God will take care of the great cosmic destiny through you. Say it again. Okay. You are not trusting that God will take care of you, but that God will take care of the great cosmic destiny through you. So you are surrendering and you are saying, use me, mama. I am you. I am your tool. What you want me to do, I do it. I ain't ashamed. I ain't ashamed of you. I ain't ashamed of me. I ain't ashamed to fall down, mama. Because I know because of you, I can get back up. Let's go. Mama got you. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, baby. Okay. I hope y'all getting this. This is perfect faith. You trust the worth of your small action, if done to the best of your ability, to be a necessary portion of the greater plan. So, when I have been writing down my poetry, my words, my short stories, all that I have given, it has been part of the plan. It has been part of Mama's plan. Something that I didn't even understand, okay? But was truly about my identity. Stepping up to the freaking plate and knocking that fucking ball out the fucking world into the next freaking galaxy, okay? So when I sit and I watch Janelle Monáe get up on the stage, baby, and show you what the power of the womb is. Whew. Baby, baby. When I see Janet Jackson in all her glory, in all her essence, giving her all and not being appreciated for what she carries within her. It lets me know just how much work has to be done because we are not used to receiving gifts. We are not used to being told we are divine beings who are aligned perfectly. We do not know how to put faith beyond something we can hold and see because that's what we've been taught. If I can't see it, I don't believe it. Oh, this world done showed me what it is. It ain't got nothing new to show me. All it gives is pain and hurt and death and bullying. If you're happy, you may get a couple of minutes or months of love, but don't expect more than that. Who you selling short? Be aware that infinite intelligence don't need no B plan. Don't need no backup plan. Its design is perfection. Everything it does is perfect. And it perfects itself in time. We perfect ourselves in the season that is right for us. Just like the butterfly comes out of its chrysalis and is no longer a caterpillar. Time is an illusion, beloveds. And if you think we are not going to get past this animalistic phase, the brutality, the predatory natures, the competitions, the being the shark in the tank, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to make you bleed and then I'm going to eat you. Just to show you I'm stronger than you are. Maybe there's always one stronger than the other one. That's the laws of mathematics. That's universal, okay? So if you think you're going to always be the best in every situation, in every circumstance, please surrender your ego, okay? Please surrender it. It's time. Let me move forward. It's getting darker and darker. It's getting ready to storm. I can feel it coming. Okay. Hello. Okay. God will take care. You are not trusting that God will take care of you, but that God will take care of the great cosmic destiny through you. This is perfect faith. You trust the worth of your small action, if done to the best of your ability, to be a necessary portion of the greater plan. You don't even need to know what the great plan is. Acting in faith, you simply assume your acts are a part of it. You are guided by love, compassion for all life forms, a virtue that used to be called charity. Whoo, you are guided by love, compassion for all life forms. A virtue, compassion is a virtue. A virtue that used to be called charity. This guides every avatar's actions constantly. It must guide yours. Before the 2,000 years of Jesus' work on earth is done, everyone living must become an avatar. Everyone must daily live in faith, consciousness of the greater good, hope, affirming the highest possibility, and charity, loving compassionately. So, everything that I'm giving you, beloveds, is about loving compassionately, is about the energy of Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin has been coming up a lot lately. So, understand the energies. Isis as well. Understand the connection, the correlation. Okay? Understand the unconditional love, the love beyond self. Only then will there be rebirth and the liberation of the mother who has given up her life while her children grow from their 2,000-year infancy. The Son, Jesus, was one of many children who fulfilled her dreams for humanity. Now it is time for all of us to awaken. We all have to become Christ. We all have to wake up with this Christ consciousness, and it does dwell within us. We just have to understand with innocence. We have to reclaim our innocence to really have the compassion for it. The first card, which was the vision card, which was the hanged man card, is, like I said, so tied into this. I see why these cards, why Spirit gave these cards. They are truly gifts, beloveds. Now, you and your brother and sisters, like Jesus, are children of God. You are daughters and sons of a divine male and female force. And you have come to be foster mothered by earth while you grow to spiritual maturity. The greatness of avatars is within you. If you study the life of Jesus or any master teacher who walked the earth, you will get a sense of the themes of devotion that ran through their beings. You will see that there are many ways to serve God, but all require a cosmic consciousness, a vision of the good of the whole, a constant placing of the personality or ego self in the position of child to Divine Father within. And that was that card, beloved, Rebirth. The Sun card in the traditional deck. Okay, let's move forward. I am going to start with the the Abraham Hicks Oracle. Abraham Hicks, not Oracle. Getting out of the vortex, getting into the vortex. Let's see which it is. Getting into the vortex by Esther and Jerry Hicks, The Teaching of Abraham. Okay. And I'm just going to, usually I pull 3. Today I'm just going to pull 1. Just, I don't know, because that's what I'm feeling. Okay. Sorry. 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 Card number 16. 16, 16, 16. And look at those glasses. Those are, oh my God. This card. This card, okay? I want you to see the faces. I want you to see them trying to see out the same glasses with the same eyes. I just really need you to see this. It's just gorgeous. Attempting to control others attracts more to be controlled. Number 16, which is a 7. It is easy to understand how you would come to the conclusion that your path to feeling good is through influencing or controlling the behaviors of others. But as you attempt to control them through influence or coercion, you discover that not only can you not contain them, but your attention to them brings more like them into your experience. You simply cannot get to where you want to be by attempting to control or eliminate the unwanted. Baby, baby. Focus on the solution, not the problem, not the symptoms, not the pains. Try your best to stay focused on the solutions. Control. That's a big issue right now. Okay, let's move forward to it's raining, to the animal messengers. Messengers from Your Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen D. Farmer. And these are oracle cards. And again, they've already been consecrated and, okay. 2 came out. We just had Boar. So I'm not going to read Boar again because Boar was already read in one of the previous readings. So I'm not going to go through it right now. I'll just say, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will. Okay, Mama. Okay. Mama say, don't say what I ain't gonna do. Just do it. Yes, ma'am. Boar. Again. 19. 10. New beginning. Okay, let's see. Page 19. Face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. This is Boar is also the pig, beloveds. Whatever difficulties you're experiencing now, whether with a relationship, career, or path, or some other concern, dig in, rummage around until you discover how to solve the problem. Then take immediate reaction to remedy it. Every time you confront adverse situations in this way, you'll be uprooting those elements in your life that appear to be obstacles to fulfilling your purpose. Life can sometimes be very uncooperative with your rational mind sense of order. Aho, ashe, 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 amen. And will, at times, even block your demands of how events and experiences should unfold. If you're living on earth, you're going to get your feet muddy sometimes, but it's no cause for panic, crisis, or drama. Instead, take a couple of deep breaths and view whatever problem you encounter as simply something that needs to be taken care of. As the saying goes, there really are no problems, only creative possibilities. Once you've emerged victorious, which means that you've either conquered your problem or changed your thinking about how you initially perceived the situation, you'll experience a surge of power and confidence. Remember that your power originates from source, expressed through you as you and as you. When you vanquish the illusion of this situation being a problem, you'll not only feel a greater sense of relief and freedom, but you also open the way for your heart, mind, and soul to be more in alignment with the will of spirit. Let me break that down for you, beloveds, okay? Because this is what has been happening with me, to me, for me. I've been looking at it as, why me? Why do I always attract these hard ass lessons? Mama, I know I'm strong, but damn, can't somebody else take some of this shit? And it's not about that. It's about being this boar, you know, and finding the lesson in it. When you think the lesson is unseen, it's your mission to see what it has to teach you. And don't jump to conclusions. Allow it to unfold. Allow it to show itself to you naked. Allow it to unravel before you, for you, with you. Because if it's happening within your realm, it's for your benefit. We draw to us what we need. Just like as children, when we didn't listen, what did we draw to us? An ass whooping, punishment. No, you can't go. You grounded. Sit down and you do what? You think about it. And you do what? You respect next time. Be it person, place, thing, or rules. I'm going to repeat that. Remember that your power originates from source, expressed through you and as you. When you vanquish the illusion of this situation being a problem, you'll not only feel a greater sense of relief and freedom, but you also open the way for your heart, mind, and soul to be more in alignment with the will of spirit. When you operate from that perspective, you can overcome anything. Associations, courage, hospitality, earthiness, self-reliance, protection, prosperity, organization, fierceness, uprooting, cleanliness, determination, balance, security, and tenacity are all associated with pig or boar. And we'll move forward to the next one, which is mouse. Pig and mouse. And the mouse card says you're overlooking some important details. So pay closer attention to what's going on. Mouse. And let's see what Mouse has to say. Mouse is on page 77, which is double 7, which is 14, which is 5. Let's see. 77. 7 is a very mystical number, beloveds. It's a very spiritual number. Okay, here we go. And so it was twice, 7, 7. So pay double attention to this. You're overlooking some important details, so pay closer attention to what's going on. Pay closer attention to other people's body language, how they move, their gestures, facial expressions, and general posture. When you focus not only on what individuals are saying, but also on their body language, you'll find that you have considerably more information that you can use to understand what they're really communicating. And beloveds, this, excuse me, I've got to. Let me read that one more time because there's something that I have to say. When you focus not only on what individuals are saying, but also on their body language, you'll find that you have considerably more information than you can use to understand what they're really communicating. For body language typically reveals far more about people than what they're verbally expressing. Sit back whenever there are people around and simply observe for a while. Look to see if what others say is congruent with their body language and watch for any discrepancies. In other words, don't always take people at their word. And beloveds, I want to say this. When a person is giving you no communication, only silence, that is also a form of body language. And it is a form of communication. It is communicating without communicating. It is saying what your intuition already knows. Okay? It is saying what your intuition already knows. And if you have doubts about it, that's when you step back a little bit and you observe. You observe and you have faith in your intuition. Because if there seems to be no peace in the situation because you don't have the commitment of communication, you should be worried. You should be worried because that person doesn't care enough about you, okay, to reconcile your thoughts and your feelings within you. They'd rather just watch you spin your wheels. It amuses them. Mostly because they spin their wheels. Or they've had their wheels spent before like this. So, beloveds, don't learn to grow with things. Learn to allow things to speak to you, to tell you the truth. Look to the stars and heavens. Ask for angel guidance, ask for prayers, ask for confirmation. If something rises up in you as a fear instead of a joy, instead of a pleasure, search it out because it's your heart, it's your feelings, it's your thoughts. It's you telling you that something ain't right. Listen to it. Again, this is Mouse. Mouse is about details. And give yourself a certain period of time. Allow things. Be patient. Just like you would want someone to be patient with you. Be patient with them. They are only human. But there comes a time, beloveds, where you say, okay, I have learned what I need to learn. This situation has not elevated. It has not escalated. It has not, it's the same. It doesn't grow. It does not grow. It's stagnant. And you have to realize that you can no longer stay in what is stagnant, what does not move, what does not grow, which does not unfold, which does not integrate, which does not allow, which does not accept, which does not nurture, which does not support you, but only itself. That's when you have to say, thank you for teaching me how much I'm worth, because I forgot. I had forgotten. I had forgotten. I had truly forgotten. So, thank you. I love you. Continue to grow. And then you get yourself up from there. Disconnect. Cut the cords. Allow your healing. Feel what you need to feel. Rejuvenate and restore and resurrect your roots. Reattach yourself to wisdom. Tit again. If that's what you need to do. And just be you, beloveds. And know that that's good enough. And it doesn't matter what another thinks. Now I'm getting hot. Excuse me. It doesn't matter what another thinks about you, your growth, where you are, any of that, beloveds. The person to who it should matter to is you, and only you. And I'm sorry about the lighting in this, but it is what it is, beloveds. There we go. Um, Let me just get through with um the reading. Let me see if I can fix this for a minute. Hold on. Let me just. I am not a techie person, so I'll be trying to fix these things, and they just get worse sometimes. So hold on. Let me see. There we go. I'm taking some of the brightness out of it, putting a little bit more sharpness. Okay. A little more contrast. There we go. I guess that's as good as it's gonna get, beloveds. Um, no. No, come on. There we go. How about this? No, don't like that either. Okay. Um, all right. I'm sorry, I still got this going. Let me see what I can do, beloveds. Okay, beloveds, I closed my curtain, and that kind of gave us a little bit of more clarity, I hope. Let's get back into things. We were at Mouse, and um, let's just get back to it. Sit back wherever there are people around and simply observe for a little while. Look to see if what others say is congruent with their body language and watch for any discrepancies. In other words, don't always take people at their word. Also, pay closer attention to agreements and contracts right now. Take your time to completely understand any agreement, finding out as much as you can by asking questions and consulting friends and experts to get their advice. And beloveds, if you are in some kind of partnership, relationship, understanding, exchange of expressions, again, make it plain. Make your needs plain. And when you have made your needs plain and you feel that you have made your needs plain and that it's not, it, it don't take Albert Einstein to figure it out. You know, it's not that encoded, it's not that deep, it's very plain. And if what is communicated back to you does not mirror or reflect your own growth, path, destiny, destination, support, nurturing, let it go. Let it go. The both of you may not be ready. One of you may not be ready. Don't worry about which one. Just sometimes you just have to observe and take the stand you need to stand. And if it is truly yours, it will return. It will return. If that's who you are destined to be with, you will be. But meanwhile, keep working on yourself. And even when you have the knowledge that, oh, this is right, no, it may be right for just that moment. Doesn't mean it's going to be right for a lifetime. Could just be that moment. That was what you needed. That was what was agreed to. Um, and then move forward. Uh, let's see. Let's get to. Take your time to completely understand any agreement, finding out as much as you can by asking questions and consulting friends and experts to get their advice. And remember, if the others are not communicating with you, there's a reason for it. There is a reason, and it most likely is not what you are fantasizing about in your own head. Okay? Look at what is benefiting you. Look at what is benefiting the other person. Is it opposites or is it complementary? Is it in line? Is it aligned with you, with your faith in yourself, with who you are and your mission and what you're here to do? Or do you feel you're being used? Who are you being used by, first of all? One of the things that Mama has me looking at right now and knowing is that we are all tools in her box, and she's going to use us how she sees fit. And sometimes you have to be adaptable. And where, as you would use one tool is specifically made for something, sometimes you have to adapt and use another tool that was not meant for that purpose, but that will serve just as well in the infinite intelligence of wisdom and the objective that is to be birthed. Okay. Be careful, however, not to get bogged down in too much detail. Walk the fine line between scrutinizing a contract, verbal ones included, for an inordinate amount of time. This remaining stuck in Indecisiveness due to your need to be 100% certain that you've covered everything and rushing into something impulsively and reflexively based on emotional appeal. I'm going to say that again because this has I'm working on this. Walk the fine line between scrutinizing a contract, verbal ones included, for an inordinate amount of time. So we're told to process it. Thus remaining stuck in indecisiveness due to your need to be 100% certain that you've covered everything. Be careful not to get bogged down in this. Be careful not to over scrutinize. And know that you can get stuck in indecisiveness due to your need to be 100% certain that everything is covered and rushing into something impulsively and reflexively based on emotional appeal. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been doing that with the face that Mama's got me. I'll land on my feet no matter what window I'm dropped out of. I can drop out of a skyscraper. I'm gonna drop on my feet. Mama got me. I'm good. But sometimes you have to say, Mama is saying, you keep getting yourself with these same people who need to drop you out the skyscraper, okay? When they're tired of you. Maybe you need to repattern yourself. Maybe you need to start picking somebody that ain't gonna be dropping you out the skyscrapers, okay? I don't want you no more, kitty cat. Gone. Psh. So, gotcha. Gotcha. We don't have to be 100% certain that we as human beings have covered everything, every nook and cranny. We cannot. We have to allow things to unfold, for others, just as we have to allow them to unfold for ourselves. There we go. Associations. Caution, scrutiny, details, fertility, alertness, efficiency, thoughtfulness, determination, nitpicking, orderliness, fastidiousness, and abundance. Wow. Almost at different spectrums, but very powerful. Let's move on to Archangel Raphael 103. 103. Wow. Okay. Archangel Raphael, please. Okay, thank you. That didn't take long. Do more research. Do more research. Do more research. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for your clearly and gently leading me to the information that I need to know for my well-being. Please give me the courage to be assertive as I take charge of my health care needs. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I'm getting trust from this card. I'm also seeing Raphael as the fool. Okay? Do you see that? 1 foot on solid ground, 1 foot not. There are two birds, a bluebird and a golden bird. He's holding a staff. So he's planted, he's grounded, he's balanced. Balanced was the key word that sang out. Okay, let's see. Do more research. 36, which is a 9. And this is a deck by Doreen Virtue, beloveds. 36. Do more research. Healthcare is a partnership between a patient, healer, and God. This card serves as a reminder that it's important to fulfill your role. Don't remain passive. Instead, listen to the divine whispers, your thoughts and feelings, which are the voices of God and Archangel Raphael, guiding your steps in the healing process. Trust your feelings and know that you have rights and options. Possible specific meanings. Get a second, third, or fourth opinion. Read the latest studies about this condition. Speak up and ask your healthcare provider questions. Look for an alternative healer or healthcare facility. Be open minded about alternative treatments. My prayer, dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for clearly and gently leading me to the information that I need to know for my well being. Please give me the courage to be assertive as I take charge of my healthcare needs. Aho, ashe, 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 amen. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. As healthcare, as caretakers, even planetary caretakers, we sometimes lose sight of ourselves because we're so focused on bringing change to others. I'm going to read from the romance deck now, beloveds. And they're flying all over the place just because this is the time of sacred alchemy. This is the time of divine unions. This is the time for relationships, relating, not just romantic ones, but this is a romantic deck, so this is about romance between partners. Okay, Mama, give me what you want us to know about romance in this now moment. Mama, give us what you want us to know. Okay. Soulmate. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. There is a tenderness in this that is so beautiful. There's harmony, there's symmetry, there's the blending, there's the alchemy. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. The alchemy, the chemistry, the integration of two souls. That's what soul mate and mating is all about. It's the integration of those two souls. And let's see. Soulmate is 81, which is a 9, which is also 9 times 9. Whew. Okay. 81. Yes, this is your soulmate. That's what this card says. You chose this card because you wonder if a certain person is your soulmate. And the answer is yes. All as we all do. You have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and life path. Soulmates incarnate with the plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is one of yours. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt when you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or, will I ever meet my soulmate? As validation that this will occur. Many times, this is a person whom you already know. Although romantic sparks didn't fly at first, you have another opportunity to explore passion together. And that is that card, beloveds. And I'm going to move forward. As you see, I've opened the window, I closed the window, the lights are fluctuating. Again, it's getting ready to storm out there. It's already rained, and then the sun came out, and then it changed its mind, and it went back down, and so, okay. I had a card jump out. Mama, is it this one? She said, yeah. This is the last card in the deck. 147. 147. So that's a 12 again, and that's a 3. 147. This is not the end, the last. Okay, the cards are like this. This is the last card right here. The one that was one that was pulled. Them bones, them dry bones, baby. Yeah. Okay. 147. Okay, wait a minute, beloveds. I just found some cards in the deck. So I will take that one, and I will take another one because all the cards went there. So, but because the skull ones did come out, I will honor that. But I know that I feel and I know another one is supposed to be pulled too. So it is what it is. 11157. Huh. And we just had this card, beloveds. We just had this card. 87, which is 15, which is 6. Let me just read the first one first. Okay, 147. Lady Great Skull 0. Mama, mama. No, you didn't. Beloveds, this card here ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. Zero. Lady Great Skull 0. Remembering. I'm sorry, I got two. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is past deep. Okay, and I just blew the candle out. All right, mama. Remembering. 7 holes there are in the center of the world, in the sacred skull where all roads meet at point 0. It is complete. I am coming, says Lady Great Skull 0. The tied-up sun has set. The smoking stars are gathering. I am waiting for you at the end of night. It doesn't matter who you are, emperor, queen, pope, or president, whether you are highborn or low. It doesn't matter what your religious convictions are or what God you worship. I am coming. Yes, it all comes to 0. Lady Great Skull 0 sits back in the back of time. Life slips away through our fingers like ephemeral sand blowing away in the wind. The grains of sand were our actions while dwelling on this planet. Night and darkness and cold will come. But at the end of the long dark night, the light bursts forth. Life as we know it is darkness, and death in its gorgeous simplicity is all of the light from which we have been separated. Lady Great Skull Zero, the Queen of Terror, symbolizes the necessity of death. Death comes in many guises. We may undergo many ego deaths in a lifetime. Hidden inside these ego deaths is liberation, a transition to what we truly are. And I'm getting, beloveds, do not be afraid to let that self die. Whether it dies full of embarrassment, full of shame, whether it dies from being beat up and can't take anymore, whether it just is too pissed off to breathe again. Allow that self to be itself and allow that self to be reclaimed by zero. Zero is going to transmute it and energize you with it again as something different. And so allow the ego deaths to happen. Don't keep holding on. It is not loyalty to yourself. It is not loyalty to the mother. Patience and compassion are one thing. Ignorance of yourself is another. Know from what you are operating out of. Know where your heart is. Know why you do something, even if another doesn't understand it or agree with it or whatever. When it is time for you to change, believe me, trust and believe, you will. That's infinite intelligence at work, aligned with your will. Lady Grayskull Zero, the Queen of Terror, symbolizes the necessity of death. Death comes in many guises. We may undergo many ego deaths in a lifetime. Hidden inside these ego deaths is liberation, a transition to what we truly are. You watch your possessions or your ideas and talents stripped away to lie at the feet of another. Woo! You see your gifts misunderstood and misrepresented by charlatans and liars. Friends or lovers disillusion you. No matter how painful death is, you can congratulate yourself when you experience the little death, the death of the ego, a birthday gift from Lady Great Skull Zero. Naked truth is death. Let me try to get some more light in here, beloveds. Let me just pause this. Sorry, beloveds, that's as bright as it's going to get in here. It is what it is. So let me just finish where I am. 118.50. Naked truth is death, and there is only this to remember. It is not easy in sanitized modern cultures to gaze upon Lady Great Skull Zero. However, various religious teachings tell us to meditate on death, see where it takes you. Learning of death and dying puts one on a road of appreciation and deeper meaning. And I'm being told here to tell you about the crossroads and Ilegba. Um, Understanding what those crossroads are, understanding the limbo of the place where you have to decide which path, which way best suits you for your mission and your purpose. And pray over it, beloveds. Ask your guides and your guardians. And another thing I want to say, a lot of you, even some of you spiritual ones, you rely too much on what you think you see, and you don't focus on what you don't see or can't see. And I want you to know that just because you don't see something doesn't mean it does not exist. It just means that that part or that energy or that type of energy is cloaked. It's not for you to see. It's not for anyone to see. Because most would be terrified. And we are not here to terrify. We are here to heal. So, beloveds, don't always rely on what your eyes see or don't see. Learn to use all of your senses. But more than your senses, tap into your innate wisdom, your spiritual divine wisdom of who you are, and ask it to answer any questions you have. However, various religious teachings tell us to meditate on death. See where it takes you. Learning of death and dying puts one on a road of appreciation and deeper meaning. And I'm going to just say this. When I myself watched Will Smith bungee jump into that Grand Canyon, I have much more appreciation for him now. And I can just imagine what his family and his other loved ones feel, because the opposite could have very well taken place and may have taken place on many different verses, multiverses. But in here and now, he was anchored. And there is an appreciation for him as a sacred masculine now that cannot be denied by anyone. And I just want to say, I salute you. I salute you, Will Smith, for having the courage to face your fears, for showing the world what it is to be a sacred masculine man. I love you and your family. There is connection. Are there difficulties? Of course. Of course. Of course. This is life. This is real life. We learn by the confrontations, the controversies, the drama. That is how we learn what is right. We need the contrast. In order to know that you are strong, you have to contrast that against being weak. And you have to contrast that weakness in different situations. And you have to understand that compromise is necessary. And compromise does not make you weak. Oh, that just needed to be said, okay? A circle of 13 macaws preen their feathers and strut around the fallen bones that surround Lady Great Skull Zero. Pyre and Tombstone are her amulets. Lady Great Skull Zero calls silently from the tomb. All that is beautiful will one day be gone. Drink your fill of life, for soon you must come to me. Lady Great Skull Zero is motionless, without desire, actionless, and free. She is able to process the fear around any situation or question. When you can remember, you remember who you are, then you know there is nothing to worry about. Lady Great Skull Zero, Lady Great Skull's teaching are manifold. She represents the void and eternity. Zero is nothing. She is the keeper of the invisible, and yet all is born from her. She may simply be telling you to rid yourself of the past or some other good riddance. Lady Great Skull Zero can free our intelligence. The skull is the house of mind. Aho, Mama. Aho, Ashe, 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 Amen. The skull is the house of the mind. Golgotha is called the place of skulls. Whoo, get it, Mama. It is the part of the body most resistant to decay. Ooh, some knowledge being dropped. I love it. I love it. I love it. The skull is the house of the mind. It is part of the body most resistant to decay, to death. The top of the skull touches the vault of heaven, and it is the 0 point between hell and heaven. Do you understand why Predators, the movie, wanted the skulls now of human beings? Let me say that to you again. The top of the skull touches the vault of heaven, and it is the 0 point between hell and heaven. Remembering is not in the memory. True remembering arises when we are pristine and beyond delusion. The predators, if you weren't attacking them or had a weapon, they did not kill you. Remembering is not in the memory. True remembering arises when we are pristine and beyond delusion. All the that was Tiamat. That is why she had to come forth after the last martyr in me had been murdered by me. Okay? True remembering arises when we are pristine and beyond delusion. Delusion, not illusion. Delusion, which is self-inflicted illusion, okay? All the energies come to rest in a moment and we are suddenly free. Lady Great Skull Zero card asks you to analyze what is dead in your life and release it. Death and resurrection were at the center of the people's lives in ancient times. The cycle was played out every day in the exalted and the mundane. For example, the people witnessed rebirth in the pathway of Venus. Where are we at right now, beloveds? What is Venus doing right now, beloveds? Thank you, Mama. Pathway to Venus. Woo! Mm. Death and resurrection were at the center of the people's lives in ancient times. That's because they were agricultural, beloveds. And that was also because of their relationship with the sea, the ocean. Understanding what abundance and fertility and seasonal seasons are. They were hunter-gatherers. You have to understand that that instinct is still deeply encoded in you. All energies come to rest in a moment, and we are suddenly free. Remembering is not a memory, is not in the memory. True remembering arises when we are pristine and beyond delusion. Delusion. All the energies come to rest in a moment, and we are suddenly free. Lady Great Skull Zero card asks you to analyze what is dead in your life and release it. Death and resurrection were at the center of the people's lives in ancient times. The cycle was played out every day in the exalted and mundane. For example, the people witnessed rebirth in the pathway of Venus, the drama of the ball courts, and even in the corn they ate each day. Venus was the brilliant morning star who died and was reborn as the mysterious and dangerous evening star. The people witnessed the play of cosmic destruction and recreation at the ball games. Maize sacrificed and died so that humans could grow flesh. Tie the fragments of your life together in such a sacred and seamless expression. For Lady Grayskull Zero is a challenge card. Are you willing to step through your ossified behaviors into a larger perspective? Are you able to walk away from the familiar into the unfamiliar? Are you willing to surrender and clasp the bony fingers of Lady Greatskull Zero? She will take you to a place you always were and always will be. And that is that card. The other card, beloveds, is the one on page 87. And like I said, this card came up in another reading. This is the New Humanity Woman and Man card, and it is 20. It is the number 2. Let me show it to you. The woman is on top. Their eyes. The man is on the bottom. And then you flip it around. And the man is on the top. And I don't know why, but I always see him as the Silver Surfer. Always, always, always. And the woman is on bottom. And then you have to remember that they're one. They're one. The eyes that we see out of, masculine and feminine. Let me get to it. Woman and man knew humanity. Here's what happened. Abba, our creator, sang a creation song, and the song vibrated through the eternity of eternities. The song creator sang put infinite infinities into our universe, and our universe was bound by no boundaries. A jade ball there was, and it floated in the heavens. On the jade ball, a tiny green fire burned. Abba saw the gleaming flames and came and blew on them. Clouds of smoke filled the sky, and from the clouds ashes fell and covered the jade ball with earth. Still the jade fire burned. Abba blew on it once more, and the smoke rose and created lightning and rain. The rains fell for many days and stopped. There were now lakes, rivers, and oceans. Afterward, plants and trees sprouted and began to grow from the earth. The sun was shining too brightly, and the plants began to wither. Abba cut off strands of hair and tied them around the new creation, wrapping the strands around and binding it like a ball of twine. This caused shadows to appear for the very first time. The plants grew strong, and Abba smiled. The fire danced happily, and smoke billowed upwards. Abba noticed two forms in the smoke. Forms in the smoke. And took each of the forms and blew on them, and they became new woman and new man. Creator rubbed a little earth into new woman and a little sky into new man, Creator left the pair to enjoy the divine interpretation of this new world. When Creator returned, new woman was restless and completely bored with new man. Maybe new man needed more earth and new woman needed more sky. Hum, new woman said to Creator. Creator was puzzled. New woman, tell me, why are you unhappy? Lonely, new woman replied. Well, what do you want? Asked Creator. I want beauty. I will make it so, said Creator. And Abba blew once again on the jade fire. A smoke of different colors danced out in all directions, shape-shifting into startling new creatures. Animals, Creator explained. New woman smiled. Happy, she said, witnessing all the wondrous new faces of life. I must leave you now and go to my land far away, beyond, said Abba. You will imagine I have gone away for good. I have not. Just remember my breath enlivens all of life, and everything around you, a part of me, is inside of you. The vibrations of my sweet song are engraved upon all of creation. Remember to use my song. Be happy and fulfilled all the days of your life. There is no need to seek me, for I am always with you. For I am with you always. Beloveds, that song is the universe. One verse, the universe that we know. In that song is the Mazarov, the instructions, the keys. Our age is in labor with the birth pangs of coming to term. Our ideas about human consciousness and potential are crumbling. Humanity is finding new tools and new understanding to expand itself. Our old world is dying. As our old world gasps and expires, a new world is being born and new humanity is emerging. Beyond what our eyes are taught, beyond the paradigms of culture, there is a truth inside the distortion of the mind. Woman and Man card is number 20, the number of wisdom and realization. The realization only possible to the human family. 20 carries duality. 20 is the awakening number and is the sign for divination and ritual. This number asks you to explore both. 20 also expresses the number of digits allotted to the human. Before, when this card came up, I said we have 10 toes, 10 fingers and 10 toes. That's the 20. If you have selected the Woman and Man card for your reading, prepare to enter a cycle of completion. Finish the old and begin the new. We are being told to finish the old, beloveds. To finish it, finish it, finish it, finish it. So, separating work is taking place. You are being told to finish it. So you're being told to take a side. You're being told to express yourself, your divinity. It's like God is saying, vote. But I'm not telling you to vote or not vote. I'm just saying God is telling you that you need to vote for yourself. You need to have faith in yourself. You need to push that forward. Finish the old and begin the new. Set your life in order. Make peace with the idea of utter change. Utter change. Ugh, Taurus, that just punched me in my belly. Okay, utter change, mama. I sit at your feet. Your will, not mine. Your will. Okay. As you enter the new paradigm, you may feel anxious or fearful. Go ahead and mourn the process and process the loss. Go ahead and mourn and process the loss of the old world. Acknowledge with gratitude the old ways that sustained your life. As 2012 and the emergence of the new humanity approaches, do your part to create a sustainable future within the context of your situation. Work on those things that won't happen unless you contribute to them to make them happen. If you choose not to participate in creating your future, then get ready for the consequences. Better for you to labor for the new world you envision. Because you don't want what's going to come if we don't create this, okay? You don't want this cycle. You don't want to be the ones that's going to remain in this 3D cycle, in this loop, because some are going to, okay? Work on those things that won't happen unless you contribute to them and make them happen. If you choose not to participate in creating your future, then get ready for the consequences. We have hidden from ourselves, and so we come to the paradox of being human. One of us is woman, the other is man, and we are equally human. Together we cling to the face of the earth under the forces of gravity. Our muscles and organs are hung on low, bony frames. Arms and legs dangle at our joints. Yet whenever we see a bird ascending effortlessly into the sky, we throw our spirits out of our bodies and fly upward with that bird. Our spirits want to go home, to the sun, to the stars. To heal this great sorrow, we meditate on the opposing sides of our nature. The snake bird, with oneself on the earth and oneself in the sky, the light and the dark, the feathered serpent. But now the feathered serpent's shadow is covering the earth. It is quiet now, quiet before a new dawn, before new humanity. Humans are a glimpse in the dazzling mirror, carrying the knowledge of cosmic oneness. Back to the sun, to the great unity, we go. Our destination, a star. And that was those two cards. And now I'm going to finish up with the Isis Oracle deck. Oh my goodness. Okay. Didn't know that much time had gone. Beloved, I'm a yakking fool, I guess. Let's see what Mama gives us. Give us what we need, the card that will serve us best in this now moment, Mama. This is the final card. Give us what you want us to take to heart. Enter the healing chamber. Enter the chamber of healing. Healing in the divine chamber of Lady Isis. Wrong book. I ain't gonna find it in that book. Okay. Sorry. Um, chamber. Enter. 54, which is also a 9, beloved. Enter the chamber of healing. Let me show you this card. Sorry, I'll be fidgeting. This is the chamber of healing. This is Isis and Hathor, is what I'm told. And this is a womb chamber, birthing and rebirthing chamber. Healing is the divine chamber of the Lady Isis. A spiritual gift of healing is coming to you now. Be open, without expectation or preconceived notions, and allow the healing from the Lady Isis, Mistress of Magic, to help you find the best solution for any situation that does not appear to be as it should be. Take your time and create space into which her magic and energy can flow now. Expect your miracle. This oracle comes to you as a messenger. Prepare for great changes because they're on their way. Ah, storage. Yes, yes, yes. When the Divine Lady Isis offers you a healing gift of magic, it is something to accept as a gift of unconditional love. With open arms, it will be offered without agenda, with the only intent being for your highest good and spiritual growth. It will not necessarily look or feel like you expected, but you will realize in the unfoldment of the process or circumstances that it was a spiritual healing gift from the divine, even though you may not have immediately recognized it as such at the time. You will be, and sometimes, enough time was given for you to recognize that, and if you didn't, you still have the healing, but the gift, the person that gives the gifts moves on to the next, to the person that who will and can recognize what is being given and who is giving it. You will be able to recognize the healing by the experience of it and its effect, even before the complete resolution of the issue at hand. The experience will be that the issue is somehow lifted from you, and the effect will be that the issue seems genuinely out of your control, and yet not out of your control. This is the way that the gift of healing can come to you. Time in sacred space to contemplate and reflect is extremely helpful. To receive divine intervention as consciously, swiftly, and fully as possible, sacred space can be a physical place that allows you to put your day to day activities and thoughts to one side and instead indulge in just being as you are in that moment. It might be a place in nature, your meditation place or healing room, or a sanctuary that have, you can be alone for a time, or even a meditation group or healing circle. Sacred space allows you to simply be, to not have to think, sort things out, or analyze, but to openly rest. Allow inspiration or guidance to come as and when it chooses, and to allow for the mysteries of healing to occur. It is important when entering sacred space that we do not set an agenda or have specific expectations. We do not have to think anything more than I dedicate this space to the divine within. We're not attempting to find solutions, but actually actively letting go state. Mentally, sorry. We're not attempting to find solutions, but actively, actually letting go mentally and emotionally, and allowing ourselves to go into a peaceful state, relaxed, but not numb. Not numb, beloveds, not now. We can't be numb now. We can often have guidance, inspiration, clarity, and knowing drop into our awareness. We don't need to actively seek these things, they can just happen when we create open space. I want you to think of Miss Ford, the one who was in the Kavanaugh courts, and who she was and what she was going through. They thought she was too timid to speak. They thought she was a rabbit that did not eat wolves. She changed our minds, didn't she? Because that rabbit ate that fucking wolf, okay? Believe that. Believe that. Sorry. Okay. We don't need to actively seek these things. They can just happen when we create open space. Healing happens most powerfully when there is space, openness, and allowing. We let go for healing to flow. Time and sacred space will help you receive the inner adjustments that you need for the healing magic of the Lady Isis to be able to reach you with full boldness and genius. I am not going to read the ritual. I read it in another video, so you can get it from there. 150:35 Incantation. Healing comes, healing flows, healing blossoms, and it shows. I thank Lady Isis for her love and light. Her healing gift through spiritual night brings me now to the light of this day, and healing blossoms without delay. 150:55. And that is going to do it. And this is the Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild, and the other two cards, if I did not mention them, these two came from the 2013 Oracle, Ancient Keys to the 2012 Awakening by David Carson, author of the Medicine Cards, and Nina Simons, and the art is by Gigi Bori. And that is going to do it for me, beloveds. And I hope what this day brought forth, what Mama brought forth, nourishes you the way it has nourished me and the way it is nourishing me on many different levels. And again, I apologize for the lighting. It is what it is. It's getting ready to storm, like I said. So, thank you, beloveds. Sorry. There we go. Bye bye. Love you. Love us all. Be love and be blessed.